not touching. Young George, he's not smoking. Young George, he's not smoking at all. Like he's gonna go to sleep. Young George, for sure. But old George, well, he ain't necessarily trying to knock you out either. You know what I'm saying? So old George, he beats. And young George, he be alright. He gets old George he wins. Young George, he dies by welcome to this episode of Painted Soul Boxing. I'm Foreman.
I'm a twin.
And all right, ladies and gentlemen, get your weekend, another boxing weekend, absolutely ready. First things first, how you feeling, brother?
I'm good, what's today? Hump day, whatever the hell.
Hump day.
It need to be Friday at 4:30, so I can be done with work.
Friday 4:30. Friday 4:30 would be fine. Actually, Friday 3 o'clock would be fine.
Close enough. How you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good, feeling great, looking good, feeling great. Workouts are going awesome. The weight falling off and all of that. That first month don't never do you no justice, but once you hit month 2, 3, 4 is when you finally get to see it. So, yeah. So everything going good. You look better and recovered from your Sunday's recap.
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the things that happened.
That boy, I was fighting for my life. Straight up. Speaking of fighting for your life, on Friday, we got the OTX card off in Atlanta at the Tabernacle. Ladies and gentlemen, can I hear you say, church? I felt that was pretty cool. Not gonna hold you. I felt that was pretty good. On that card, we got two. Thanks for playing fighters. Oh, before I even get to all of that other stuff, let me set this right here to the left real quick. Shout out, thanks for playing. Shout out to the guys. And then shout out, don't forget to go to the website, buy these shirts. Trust me, the quality is top tier. Literally, this is actually some very good quality t-shirts. Support the fighters, and they just got fire graphics all the store. All right, back in front of the camera. We back for the OTX card. Now, OTX, we got two thanks for playing fighters going on. We got Haven Brady Jr. versus DeMichael Harris. And then we got Oshae Jones, Oshae Sugar Jones, defending her belt against the former champion as well. Let's get to it. Before ending Elijah Price is the main event. We can get started that in a little bit. But Haven and DeMichael. So we have had the brilliant opportunity to knock out a rare opportunity where we get to interview the both fighters. Both fighters have history with each other. They have been in the same camps, different both times, and they have shared the ring sparring wise. Albeit 3 years ago, but however, they have done it. That makes in their meeting here this Friday for a catchweight. That makes things very interesting, considering uh DeMichael Harris' last loss was just against Anthony Cuba, or a fight he admitted he ain't make no excuses for. He took that fight on 2 weeks' notice, and he went in the ring. He did get the decision lost. He did get a knockdown towards the end of that fight, but he thought he could just about to get ready to end it. Haven Brady on his last outing had a tough night against D'Angelo Keys, which he himself admitted it was a little bit rougher than what he thought it would be. It was a learning lesson for both men. So, and then here we are at the crossroads, which is good, which is I think fighters should do more often in their careers. You meet in the middle path. What do you see? How do you see this fight going? And give me your thoughts on this fight first.
I'm not sure. Just because I don't know how to be fought. So when different people take different things from sparring. So at the minimum, you'll be familiar with maybe hand speed, depends on if somebody got faster or slower. You'll be familiar with the length of their arms and things like that in certain movements. But just like in any sport, sparring is considered practice,
Turn them lights on.
and when the lights come on, it can be different, especially when that sparring match happened years ago.
Yeah.
Um, like most fighters that are younger, get better with age, especially when you go into your mid to late 20s. So I think it's an interesting style matchup. I think the style more suits Brady um for his brand, the brand of fighting that he likes to do. I
Mhm.
think this will be a better outing for him, but uh his opponent he gonna come with it. So
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Stylistically looking at it before the fight, obviously they got to get in there and prove it. Style wise, it does seem to favor Brady as he does box very well, but he does step inside and have a better good fight game on the inside. Now, however, you don't earn a name like Trigger Man for no reason, like you can't crack. That's the obvious. Like I said, even in his last fight against Anthony Cuba, he got all the when he got to that 10th round, he sat him down quick, you know. So it's not like he can't punch from first round to last round. The power is there for sure. And with Brady, Haven Brady being the inside fighter that he's gonna probably be on this fight, it makes it for a real interesting matchup to see kind of like who gets clipped first in the middle of that. Don't you think?
yep. This is kind of one of those fights where, depending on how you look, and Brady said it, they necessarily don't have to fight each other. Not right now, not for what they're trying to go to. I mean, it would be considered by a lot of people early for them
Correct.
to be fighting each other, considering their records and their age. So they stepped up to it. So we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I think good job on OTAs, good job on both teams on agreeing for this fight because these are the things that does make uh boxing great. You know, these are the things that the stories that you hear like, man, yeah, I lost that fight 3 years ago to that man, but ever since then I went on this tear of 12 fights and now I'm back in this position and that man back up there. So like, hey, run that back. For instance, Roy Jones beating Bernard Hopkins early in that point, right? And then he ran that back 12 years later. Like, nah, I need that. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of scenario. I love to see things like this go on. I think we should have more of it every single time, to me. Moving on from that fight, we got Oshae Sugar Jones in her first title defense. Oh boy. Gotta say Sugar because she ain't shitty. I still can't believe she told us that. Why would she tell us that? She said, then she gonna say, "Why y'all laughing?" What you mean? What you mean? Why he laughing? That is hilarious.
And now,
Oh man,
and shitty somewhere like,
bro, like shitty.
oh man. But yeah,
What do you mean shitty?
I think with this fight is similar to Brady's fight in a way. I
Mhm.
think it'll be a good style matchup for Sugar. But also you gotta be careful because I think her opponent was on 10 fight win streak. I think she
So
lost
she
one,
she
and then
running right now.
she been on,
Yeah, she running
and
right now.
they call it a soul snatcher, I believe. So I mean, you don't get that name for no reason.
Yeah, you
Um,
usually don't get a moniker. Certain monikers, you can use. Oh, okay, cool. But then there are other monikers where you like, ooh, how you
right,
earn that? Like Mike McCollum, the body snatcher. How how you get that? Oh, oh, you gonna find out real quick, homeboy.
right.
Yeah. So
But like you brought up when we interviewed Sugar, now she's the hunted. I mean,
yeah.
it's her first title defense, so it's a little bit different. So I'm interested to see how she takes it on.
But you hunted from a former champion too. That's what kind of makes it really rough because you got people that Hey, bro, I need that back. I got to get back to the top. I need to feel. I need to feel again. Right now, I'm empty. I'm hungry. I ain't got no food. Yeah, she been fighting. She been getting a little money, but it's still like, bro, I need that belt. I know what that belt does. And guess what? She ain't wrong. We just saw Savannah Marshall and Shadasia get down, and guess what? O'Shea got the other belt over there. So whoever keeps this belt, like this matters big on
Mm-hmm.
the major scheme of things because instantly now we're looking at Shadasia Green versus O'Shea Jones. So I think this is a huge opportunity for both women. So, like Marvin Hagler said, hey man, I ain't got no time to be sleeping in them silk sheets. I hope you in that cotton looking rough and cold. Shadasia, she said, hey man, I gotta keep this cotton thing going. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the things, these little things like that is what matters. And that's something that people don't really understand. Like people like it's very few champions that we can say kept their crazy hunger. Floyd was one of those delusional champions. Yeah, he lived the lavish lifestyle while fighting and all of that. Not gonna hold you, bro. But boy, the delusion he had in his head when he went into training for each and every single fight, or just how for his career was ridiculous. So Sugar being the hunted is what, if anybody can take anything from Floyd, take that. You can go out and have your fun, but make sure you run home to the club too. I think that's the part that people forget. Like, have your running shoes in the car. Don't drink when you go out, as a champion. Don't drink when you go out, but have your running shoes in that car and run home. Because you got to make that back up. You got to punish yourself for that because your opponent probably was like, oh, he took that rest. I'm going to go ahead and get that back too. Nah. So shout out to O'Shea. I still think she's gonna win. I think she might win by stoppage on the cool. But it's weird. I can't explain. So don't ask me how. But it is what it is. Elijah Pierce on the main event right here. My guy. Climbing up in a couple of rankings too. He getting somewhere up in the world. What you think about him for this main event?
Uh, they got a big opportunity. He's right there to where it was at one point they were talking about him fighting Inouye.
Yeah.
He's called out the names. He's talked about Shu Shu once he gets a belt, and once Shu Shu gets a belt, them fighting eventually. He's called out multiple other champions, so he's right there to getting one of those shots. So as long as he does what he's supposed to do, I think we'll see him soon in a title shot.
Speaking of the title shot, what does stylistically you see from Elijah Pierce coming into it this Friday? What are you expecting him to look like for the? Because it's not just you get the win for sure, but it's obviously nowadays unfortunately, we're looking for the entertainment of the win. So, what do you think stylistically that goes for him to win?
So that's the point. That's the part of what I was just saying that makes it uncertain. Because are you at a point to where you don't want to make any mistakes and mess up the
Mhm.
opportunity you have coming if you win and you play it safe, or will the crowd get your adrenaline going, or being on the OTX card and getting the bonus, or looking for that knockout bonus? Are you looking for something like that? Or you just I want the win because if I get this win, then I know I got a title shot or potentially a title shot coming up next. So I don't want to mess nothing up.
That's a
So
tough position.
yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, that's part of the boxing that makes it interesting. Especially when you're not a champion yet and you're coming up and you're looking
But
for
you
those
on that,
title shots.
you right on that cusp, like I can see it.
Hmm.
You see it. They're like
Especially in
Tommy
today's.
Morrison and Michael Bitt.
Hmm. Especially in today's boxing, when you have fighters literally setting up fights after
Yeah. Yeah.
before they fight, they have the next fight. So,
That damn Bam.
I,
That
yeah.
damn Bam, man. That damn Bam. Yeah. But nonetheless, I think could be a good showcase for him though. On the cool. I think this is
Hmm.
another one like good showcase. Like uh You say he has called out the names. He's on the cusp. He's right there. What better opportunity you have on a Friday night in Atlanta at the Tabernacle? Like, what kind of better opportunity can you ask for as you fight Friday, Shu Shu fight Saturday, anyway got his fights on like you know, the belts, hey, the opportunity is there. So prayerfully, he's not letting the moment get too big for him, and he keeps it pushing because I do like Elijah Pierce, man. No offense
Mm-hmm.
whatsoever. So good luck to all fighters. Good safe night on the OTX card this Friday in Atlanta, Georgia. ATL, Georgia. What we know it, Bauer. No? All right, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm ready to see that one. What we're discussing here is the Saturday night fight on ESPN, the last ESPN fight on ESPN. Another end of a boxing era. But top ranked Bob Arum, top above Brad Jacobs, those guys are no idiots. They will always figure it out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is a sad moment because it's ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports. Yes, I won't deny that. That'll be stupid for me to say anything different. However, it's the game. It is what it is. Fights are going on. So moving on from that point on. Shout out to Top Rank for giving us the years and ESPN for a lot of free fights that we did get a chance to see. Now, on the undercard of that fight in the prelims, though, our boy Steven Navarro, Mr. Curly Hair, dripped in the Louis V black jacket himself. That jacket was clean, dog. I ain't even gonna hold you. I walked up on that boy in that jacket. I said, boy, this shit fire. I said, this shit fire. He couldn't help it himself. He knew it. He was like, yeah, it's clean. I ain't gonna lie. He knew it. He knew it.
Mm-hmm.
But our boy gets another. He got an eight rounder here up at the Hulu Center in New York City this Saturday. As he continues on this path and journey, I expect nothing less than another good showing from him tonight. Not tonight. Sorry, Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Considering how he fought the veteran he fought the last time and how he passed that test. So I'm glad they're gonna get him another opponent to where it's like it's not a soft touch because you don't want necessarily too soft a touch still because you still got a fighter to develop at the same point as somebody that's gonna make him maybe get a couple rounds in. Exciting kid. If you haven't seen Steven Navarro still to this point, you might be missing out on the next best thing. Yeah, might be missing out there. Now, getting on to the main card, Rohan Polanco versus Quinton Quickjaw Randall. Quentin, somebody who can always make a fight very difficult for anybody, no matter who they're stepping in the ring with, against the flat-footed on purpose, flat-footed, heavy standing Rohan Polanco. How does this go stylistically? Because to me, I see this looking the same way, kind of in the Brian Norman range. To me, that's how I see it. Very difficult, very ugly fight because he's not going to allow you to get off the punches that you're thinking you're going to be able to get off.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see this? How do you see the style matchup?
Just like you described it. It really depend on how long Quick Draw wants to stay in the spot. If he don't, then shit.
Yeah, this is
It's
a
gonna be
real.
an
Even
ugly
though
one.
Rohan Polanco is a thanks for playing fighter, so also go buy his shirt. Here's his shirt. He his style is based on he stands in front of the guy, kind of shoulder rolls a little bit sometimes, but he does stand there to try to get you to
Mm-hmm.
be open for him to land those heavy shots. He is a hard throwing fighter consistently throughout the fight, so he's obviously well conditioned. His punch selection is not always the best, and he does get countered on a few more of the punches. It just doesn't hurt him yet to this point. So it's really interesting that they chose Quentin for this fight, and I'm curious if they chose this because while Quentin was in the Team Combat League, somebody did put him down and not get the knockout stoppage. So I wonder if they're like, oh, we can get this out. We can get him down now, realizing that Team Combat League really ain't no for no chump. See, that one round is rough one round.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how this matchup is going to go. Like I said, it could be an ugly fight like the Brown Norman Jr. fight. It's easy, really easy. And if it comes down to a boxing match, then we're gonna have to find out where Rohan Polanco got.
Yeah.
So
Well, whatever. Home state bias. I'm going for quick draw. Hope he pulls it out. Mess up some plans or something. So
yeah, but yeah, screw it. Let's do it. Let's see what kind of violence we can go with today. Ain't mad at that at all. Shu Shu is gonna be another Shu York weekend, I'm sure, as he fights for the vacant
hold
WBC.
on.
Oh, what?
Hold on. Hey, my boy Vargas before that, right?
Oh, Emiliano, my bad. My
Mm-hmm.
bad, young general. Forgive me. Forgive me.
And
Young.
the only thing I got to say about this fight, and the reason why I interrupted you, my boy, the general, he been on like a 5 street ass whooping streak. And the only thing that stopped that was a 6 round unanimous. And then before that, he was on like another 5 fight ass whooping streak. And what I mean by ass whooping is like if you go just look at through the record, it's like left hook to the body, straight right, uppercut, and these are all KOs or TKOs in the first, second, or third round. And I expect him to continue this ass whooping streak. So that's why I wanted.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because he is on a good ass whooping streak in a better way. And this is not to try to discredit him before somebody called me a hater somewhere, which shout out to the Manny Pacquiao comments. Lord have mercy. Manny
No.
Pacquiao comments on TikTok going awesome right now. But this is not me calling him a hater. He's on a better ass whooping streak than Edgar Berlanga is because he's still getting the rounds against a quality opponent. He's like, yeah, he's getting the knockouts, but he's not actually forcing the knockout to come. It's like, hey, I'm just whooping your ass, and I see the punch, I'm gonna take it, which is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to go try to get it on purpose because what are you learning in that process? So our boy, like you said, the boy is on the street right now. We're running and gunning, and so yeah, shout out to El General. My bad, big dog. I did not mean no disrespect. Fernando, I don't mean no disrespect to lead boy out, my man. So I don't want no problems. All right. All right. Now we back to shoot. Now we back to Shu Shu fighting for the WBC vacant featherweight title, interim title. As Shu Shu probably is trying to set himself up for the Inoue fight after Inoue gets to 126 next year, as he gets ready for the Junso Nakatani showdown in early 2026. Maybe Shu Shu sticks around another full-blown year in the 126 weight class. That's impossible to know right now. But uh, Shu Shu's going in for a test right here, a 12-round fight. All right. How we've seen his conditioning lack in before in those when we get to that 8th round and 10th round, what is a little slow in that. We even felt a little, hey, bro, you good in one of those fights, you know. What are we looking what do you think about Shu Shu going into this fight right now?
I think it's gonna be a fight. Actually,
Yeah,
they didn't do him no favors with this matchup. At least not on
absolutely
paper.
not.
He gonna have to fight. Like you said, we might see if he don't get him out of there early. We gonna have to see about that gas tank
Yeah,
because
we gotta check that gas tank. You know how I say, hey, you jump in that water, just it's sharks in there.
yep,
That's
we got
that's something.
they set up title fights, Shu Shu and Xander, and they didn't do either one of them no favors for these belts. So they gonna have to
No,
fight for
no.
them.
I'm absolutely, and that. The thing is that's how it's supposed to go. You know,
Hmm.
you get these title chances, whether it's an interim title chance or you get that mandatory position. Hey, bro, it ain't supposed to be no walkthrough. You ain't supposed to just, oh, I'm gonna just get an easy mandatory either. Now, bro, now you in that top 1%. Yeah, you one of them ones. Now, go ahead and show us that you're supposed to be one of those ones. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it now. So
Yep.
yeah, Shu Shu, he in for one. Also buy Shu Shu Carrington shirt right here at thanksforplaying.com as well. He got like 3 or 4 of them. Shu Shu got a bunch of shirts. Man. Uh he do. Shu Shu got shirts on shirts. But yeah, man, he in for a tough one. He in for a tough one for sure. And you brought up the main event, Xander. Xander ain't in for nothing weak either. Fundora dropped the belt because he went for the rematch with Tim Tszyu last Saturday. Perfectly fine. Perfectly okay with that. Because now, even though that was going to be a good fight, I think between the both of them, with Puerto Rico for sure, and America, even though Fundora is Hispanic and also from California or whatever. I still think this matchup is going to be better now that both of those hold the belt at 154. So that also sets up a PBC and top ranked fight that people love to say that they don't deal with each other for some reason. I don't know why, but it also sets up a great unification fight right then and there. And then you got the possibility of Jamel Charlo coming back against Keith Thurman. Um, Virgil Ortiz out there, it makes 154 pounds. So 154 again continues to look like it's gonna be another division where you gotta come show up and show out. Yeah, he lost that fight. Israel Madrimov is still out there. Virgil Ortiz. Boost just showed up. Xander is there. Jamel's gonna come back. Keith Thurman just showed up there. Like, hey, what are we doing? It's some smoke.
Yep.
Lubin is there. Uh Moratai they gonna fight there. So that's 9 fighters right there in a division with 4 belts. That's tough. That's super, 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 super tough, bro.
Yep. I
Right.
think this is Xander opportunity. Like out of you name 9 fighters, 6 or 7 of the fighters you named are more popular than Xander. I mean, Xander is
Mhm.
on the younger end, but this is Xander's chance to be like, hey, hold on. Don't forget about the youngster that y'all saw a few fights ago. So I think this is his opportunity to make his claim. It's like I'm here too.
Yeah, I think that's this because you get, like I said, I've always said, there is no such thing as, oh, we need to develop a champion. As it was stated for somebody's career a few years ago, whose name I won't name, but names probably rhyme with. Anyways, bank your money on Xander. Being the next Puerto Rican star. Um, that I think that's something that's really gonna launch and top rank to the next to whoever ends up being the distributor of their fights. Because they'll end up going to their fight with a new Puerto Rican star. And ooh, we love the Puerto Rican market is always looking for their star. Always. Always, 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 always at that point. To keep building those Puerto Rico versus Mexico matchups because it's gonna come. No fans of us about it. Um, how do you think that fight goes with Xander? Because I think that he might actually end up running 12, bro. In all honesty.
Uh, it's kind of the same on that end as the previous fight. He's main eventing this. His top ranks last on ESPN, so I expect a bigger production than normal. At least in the arena. They'll probably have some special things going on and stuff. He's going for a belt. So now we are the lights bright and kind of you got nerves. You need to settle down. You come out with the your foot on the pedal and you gas out, and now you need to adjust. Like it's
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
only reason I say that it's difficult with younger fighters with these first like when you got a vet, you kind of know how they're gonna react because we've seen it before. But when you have a younger fighter and it's like their first opportunity, it's like remember these boxers are still people, and adrenaline happens, nervousness happens. Things in the ring happen that you don't expect. So one misstep, one punch, all it takes. So we'll see. I expect a good one though. I don't think it's gonna end early.
nah. I don't see his ending early. He does a good job of setting up punches, not necessarily trying to set up a knockout. Where in the case of Shu Shu and the co-man, Shu Shu does try to go sit for the knockout. So but I think both fights are going to be extremely exciting. I have no issues with this card at all because you're getting guys who are trying to set themselves as being champion, and then you got the other Emiliano and Steven. Like, hey, I'm coming up, and I want you to know I'm coming real, real hot and fast. So,
Mm-hmm.
great job on Top Rank for having the last show in the Hulu Theater at New York for sure. So shout out to them and thank you for all of the fights that you have credentialed me for this last year. Actually, it still ain't even been a year since we started going to fights. That's crazy. Still has not been a year. But so shout out to them. Appreciate that. Letting me into the fold, even though some people would say I had a cheat code. Okay. Well, sorry. Nepotism only works if you're good at it. I'm pretty fucking good. What are those? I don't know if they recorded. Didn't even give me a countdown or nothing.
I saw the countdown.
They didn't even give me one. That's crazy. You hate me, bro? Um, I can't even say rumor mill because it did happen or rumor real. We ain't got no name for this segment right here yet. Or we might just say through the grapevine. I don't know. It don't matter. This ain't even a rumor of whatever thought process. This is what actually happened today. New legislation was produced to Congress about trying to change over parts of the Muhammad Ali Act. Moral of the story: the Muhammad Ali Act has a bunch of parts in it. Um, a lot of those include pay transparency for fighters, the ability to bargain, so many other different pieces of legislation that protects the fighters. We love boxing because of the fighters. We do not love boxing because of the promoters. So if at any given point in time you find yourself siding with a promoter over the boxer, especially in this case with the legislation that was introduced, it's kind of going to be the same thing that got you people to vote for Trump the first time. We're going to say these few little things. Like they're going to say, oh, we're looking to put a minimum on things and put a minimum cap on these things, where they introduced $150 minimum round thing. That's fantastic on the front end. But if you look on the back end here in Texas, where I fought at, there was a $200 minimum dollar per round going on here for boxing. So you putting it less than Texas is kind of insane as it relates to it. Also inside of that gate revenue, where people come put butts in seats. That's where if I get a big share of the gate revenue, where I know for a fact people are going to pay those extra prices to come see me, then guess what? Yeah, I'm going to need that percentage of that. The reasons why we have fighters who are known locally and sell out small arenas city to city, and they get paid what they get paid. They might get paid 30, 40, $50,000 a fight, and they're living great down here. Eugene Hill, a former heavyweight, was one of those guys, right? Um, they're also with the revival of they're trying to do a revival of Ali. They're trying to control the rankings in the same model as the UFC. Some of you may watch UFC, and it's something I hear the people that do watch UFC complain about how the product of UFC has fell off so much. The reason why it fell off so much is because of the product of UFC is ran. Boxing continues to be great, and we continue to get paid these numbers while you see these guys leaving and banging with boxing because there's so much transparency in the money that goes on. This is the important part of a livelihood. This is why these guys, you haven't seen the long range of superstars in the UFC no more. They're all gone and nobody's coming up. They're not building anybody in the UFC. They're just hoping that this guy wins, and that's just pretty much it. Once John Jones leaves, I don't think they have another star out. Dustin Poirier, not Poirier. What's the Brazilian? I can't even think of the Brazilian guy's name. Pierre, I think it's something like that. He's still not a transitional, or he's not a star that can transcend UFC. Their control, if they do the boxing in their own thing, as they did the UFC, you will lose the best fighters down the line. Simple as that. The product won't be developed. They'll put a guy who won't be necessarily ready. He might be very talented, but he's not ready to fight the number one guy because he's already down at 15. And then or let's just say he's down at 30. And then all of a sudden, we need a new opponent. And he goes and he's fighting number 28. He beats number 28 opponent, but all of a sudden he's number 2. He's going to fight up there, but he's only 10 fights in. But he's going to fight the number one guy who's already got 35, 40 fights. The model's not going to work. It's the reason why the model did not work in the UFC, why the UFC has gone down tremendously from this point. Ali Act is meant to protect the fighters. And in no situation am I for the fighter getting screwed over in the long run. I don't want to hear anything about and I do get that health insurance is important for a fighter. Absolutely. I think that should be across the board between promoters and everybody. But you can't give me a piece of a carrot and then you put a knife in the middle of it as soon as I bite it. It's not how none of that's gonna work. And then you're gonna say, man, I gave you the carrot. Yeah, just put a knife in it, but I gave you a carrot though. That's not how none of that works, bro. So I suggest and I highly recommend everybody get looking up on what legislation was introduced today. Today is what, Wednesday, July 28th. I want to say, is that today's date? 21st. Today's 21st.
Nah, 23rd, ain't it?
It's 23rd. Man, I don't even know my dates right now. Wednesday, July 23rd. Please, 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 please. That means I filled out some paperwork wrong. Please look up what was introduced into legislation today, because this is going to affect the livelihood of boxing. Maybe not today, as a star as we have today are going to always be on that model, but think about the guys who are amateur fighters right now. And then those coming behind him and somebody offering them, hey, you fight in this league instead of fighting with those other promotional companies. So always look out for the next generation. My hope is that all the old fighters or even current stars see this legislation and then they all band together like, hey, y'all, this is not it. Y'all need to go ahead and protest this thoroughly. That is my hope. That's my soapbox for today.
Let's see. Oh yeah. TikTok people. Hey, look, don't be mad at us because Mario Barrios ought to be shaming his damn self for getting a draw with old ass Manny Pacquiao. That ain't our fault. It's not. He should have beat the shit out of Manny. That's what should have happened when a prime fighter that's close to his prime fights an old ass fighter that ain't been in the ring with nobody seriously in years. And then when his last exhibition, he looked old as shit and he lost the damn exhibition. On top of that, to somebody we don't even know like that, and then he come fight for a belt and get a draw. Mario, you could go retire with him. Let me tell it.
Let
Sick
me
of
tell you
seeing
something.
this shit.
Them folks heard me say steroids, and and all of a sudden they ignored everything I said prior to and immediately after that. Oh my God. I ain't never been told you ain't never fought. You're a clown. Worst boxing takes around. This is why the page hasn't grown. Let me tell you something. This is awesome. We're doing fantastic. If we get hate mail, if we're getting hate comments, oh, we're on our way, brother. We are on our way. And we're also not pushing the narrative that Manny Pacquiao was just Mario Vargas is terrible. I'm gonna state that every single time. I don't care what's going on. Mario
And
Vargas.
it and if y'all feel that deep about Manny Pacquiao at this age fighting again, then put him in there with Devin Haney. And then consider what y'all probably be saying about Devin Haney. He gonna run, blah, blah. See what happened if he get in that ring with Manny.
I want to see
I'd
it.
like to see it.
I am wanting to see it. Manny is discussing a fight with Javante in the fall, apparently, as well, and a couple other fighters. Let me tell you something. Thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Pay the Soul Boxing. I don't even think we even introduced ourselves, but it don't even matter at this point.
Yeah, we
Thank
did.
y'all. We did?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in to this episode of Pay the Soul Boxing. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all of those wonderful things. Turn your bell notifications on, as I'm supposed to tell you, like all the people do. And nonetheless, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. And I will probably post another video on my own maybe sometime it has to be tomorrow. Or no, Friday afternoon. About my picks for the weekend. So the actual picks for the weekend. Who I think wins and how. For you gamblers, I guess. I don't know. I really don't care about you gamblers because I don't gamble. Quinn, you got anything else?
I hope Manny retire. That's all.
We can only pray to the Lord and Jesus that Manny prays to as well. Nonetheless, peace, love, be kind to your fellow neighbor. That's all I got. Y'all boys be cool. And ladies, be cool. Because apparently we got a bunch of women that watch too. Apparently I had no idea. Y'all be cool.